Can y'all see this bullshit? Every fucking time I want to do something, it starts raining or dumb hell. Look at it. That is stupid.
Pulling up, shut it down when I'm pulling up. Come around when I'm pulling up. In my town and I'm pulling up. Ready for anything, anyone. Know that I get it done. In the bands, I be pulling up. Tell your friends, cause I'm pulling up.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy 728 Autos. Back with a little Sunday vlog for y'all, man. You know, it felt really good today, especially after yesterday being just straight trash with the weather. I wanted to do a little video for y'all, just a little update for the channel, man. Let y'all know what's going on behind the scenes and all that good stuff, man. So I've done a couple videos now with the car, just me in the car, man. I hope y'all enjoying those. Let me know if you do, because I'm getting stuff done. You know, I'm finally able to do some of the things that I've always wanted to do with this car. You know, since the day I bought it, I just been, you know, stuff been coming up, you know, job stuff, YouTube stuff. You know, it's hard to get out here and turn the camera on and film, and like some days you just don't feel motivated, man. So anytime that I'm able to do something with the car, I want to be able to bring y'all into it, let y'all see what's going on, man, because, you know, there's tons of car YouTube channels, man, and I appreciate y'all for being subscribed to mine, especially since, you know, there's these channels that got tons and tons of subscribers. They have like supercars and all this type of stuff, and here I am just with a GTI, you know what I'm saying? So starting from the bottom, if you will, you know. But to me, the GTI really wasn't the bottom, because shoot, when I was broke as hell, this was like a car that I really wanted to get, man. I finally was able to get it. It was just like steps, you know, baby steps, stuff like that. And then this car came up for sale, saw it, you know, and it was perfect opportunity really, because my other car had got totaled out due to a car accident. So, you know, I saw this online. They told me that my car was totaled out. I went straight from work that day and bought this car, because I've always wanted a GTI. And when they came out with the 7th gen GTI, I was like, damn, I really want to get one of those one day, man. I've been looking at them, and these things get expensive, man. Like, even for this model, when it was brand ass new, I think it was like 26, 27, and then they just go up from there. Like, paying $32,000, $34,000 for a GTI is a little crazy in my opinion. But then you got the Golf R, which is like 42, so it was like, okay, well dang, you know. So, you know, can't complain too much. So when this one came up for sale, I was like, let's go, let's get it. You know, I went on, jumped on it. So GTI gang all day. I appreciate all the Volkswagen people that's come over. You know, I watch a lot of the Volkswagen videos. I watch a lot of those channels, JR14, Medic Magic, Wins Lunch. You know, a lot of those people that y'all probably don't know, but, you know, GTI gang strong, man. So appreciate y'all for joining in. But yeah, I've done a couple extra things. So main thing is like in here. So if you look, you'll see that I have the regular traction control off, and then I've got ESC off. So before, I would push the traction control button. So I'm just control button. So one time now, which it did the same thing before, but one time now is sport. So before, when I did the first tap of the button, it would just turn off the traction control and not the stability control. So the traction control will be off, which means that I could do launch control, stuff like that, and it will let the tires spin to a certain point. It still had like a little bit of a like limiter in there, and it would sometimes kick in if it got too crazy. So now first button is sport, which will still have traction control on, but it brings it down a little bit, so I can still do burnout, stuff like that, without it completely killing the power. And then it turns the stability control into sport, which lets the car get a little bit more sideways, a little bit less interaction with the electronic power steering. So it feels pretty good, you know. It feels a little bit more natural. Doesn't feel like I'm driving a computer game. And then if you hold the button all the way down, so I'm gonna do that now. So we go to sport, still holding it, boom. So now everything is off. So stability control and traction control all the way off. And it makes a big difference. The thing that I really noticed is that with the car being front wheel drive, they program in a real aggressive ignition cut if you're turning at any particular point. So if you're going around a corner, especially from 5 miles an hour or a dead stop, first thing that happens is, because this is a dual clutch, it's kind of slow to engage the clutch. And then once it does engage the clutch, and it senses that there's a lot of torque, like, so if you're just like, really asking for a lot of torque, I'm not gonna do that. I was about to floor this bitch and I forgot the car is still on. I don't want neighbors gonna be mad. But yeah, so anyway, if you're trying to go real quick in front of traffic or whatever, you're trying to hit that gap or whatever, and you got the wheel turn and you're turning right, and you give it some gas, it will have the first DSG will be delayed if you're not in sport mode. If you're just in normal mode, it's kind of a delay. Then once it senses what's going on, it's like, hey bro, I'm not finna let you do this. And then it just cuts power like crazy, and it'll cut it all the way through like second gear, and it's crazy. And then when third gear hits, straight rocket ship mode. So it's really limiting. And the crazy thing about it was, I didn't really realize how much it was doing that until I went in and I had that deactivated. Because the thing is, with this car, even though you see the little car, going down the street, squiggly lines, it doesn't always flash when it's cutting power. Sometimes it's pretty obvious. You get into a high RPM and it'll start flashing at you if there's tire slip or tire spinning. But when it does the other stuff behind the scenes with the ESC and all that stuff, so say if you do have the wheel to a certain angle or whatever, that light might not come on, but it's still doing stuff. So when I had it first set up, when I had traction control off, I thought that everything was off, but it wasn't. So anytime that I was going around a corner real crazy, or like I said, the scenario that I described before, that light might not come on. And I'm thinking, like, what's up with the car? Why is it cutting power so crazy? And it's because the stability control is still behind the scenes making decisions for you. Plus you also have the little electronic differential. Now this is an S, but it's a 2015 S, so I don't have the full locking electronic differential that has the clutches and everything in it. This is actually just the brake bias differential, which is really not really a differential. I do the quote fingers, but what it does is it'll brake one wheel or the other wheel to get torque transfer from one to the other. It works. It definitely works, but sometimes it's a little too aggressive. So just a little update on that. I also, if you haven't watched my last video, I did replace the ignition coils and the spark plugs. I bought a kit off of ECS Tuning. Really pleased with it so far. Nothing crazy is going on with it. It feels like brand new car now, so appreciate that. And then the video before that, I did an intake. Well, not really an intake. I did an intake tube. They got rid of the factory tube and a drop-in air filter. That was a noticeable improvement, but very minor. So I wanted to get another intake just to compare the two. So I do have another intake coming in the mail, so stay tuned for that. I should have it here within the next week or so. My thing with that is, I know the intake really isn't going to do much for horsepower. It may free up a few, just because the turbo doesn't have to work so hard to pull in air through all the factory piping and all that stuff. But the stock airbox is still too quiet for me, man. I want turbo noises. Like, I have a car with a turbo. I need turbo noises. So I got another intake coming that is going to be an open, like a ram air style. Golly, what's going on with my bus? So open ram air style type intake that I think should give me all the nice noises that I want. So that's coming soon. Stay tuned for that, because I'm going to install that for sure. And yeah, man, your boy working on his own car. You know what I'm saying? I like some of these YouTubers out here. I ain't calling no names out, but some people out here big finagling, getting all these parts on their car. do it yourself, fam. But anyway, man, it's neither here nor there, because I'm not gonna get up under here and do like no engine swaps or shit like that, you know. So hey, I'm just doing simple ass shit. But yeah, that's it, man. I just wanted to give y'all an update, man, because I want to go and film some cars for y'all, but that might be later on today. But for right now, I'm just gonna give y'all this brief update, and I thank y'all for watching. Peace out.